Okay guys, this is the Solana chart on the weekly time frame, and as you can see guys, from the peak of around 260 bucks, it is down a lot, and at the time of making this video guys, it is trading for around $174. But with that kind of decline guys, you need to ask yourself whether right now is the correct time to get into Solana, or let us just say that you are looking for some long-term investment horizon and you are just gazing over the cryptocurrency so that you can find the ones which are best suited for buy and hold strategy. So if you are someone who falls into that category, then obviously without any doubt Sol is something you need to take a look at. And even though the market and many experts are calling it as the Ethereum killer, you need to understand that at the end of the day guys, it's all about massive speculation, and the only thing you can do is work with the parameters you have in hand and make the best decisions based upon the actual data and figures. So in this video exactly that is what I'm going to teach you, and right away let us get started with it. Guys, Sol, as you might have already known, is up by more than 3,600% from the previous year, and last time this year guys, it was trading pennies on the dollars, and from there onwards, since the September rise, the entire thing has been going very parabolic like movement. And when this kind of thing occurs guys, you need to understand that the explosion is just a phase, right? So once the market gets out of balance and just the crowd money starts pouring in, what do you think is going to happen in the market? Obviously everyone will enter into that psychotic state, right? Like wherein no one knows what is happening, but just because there is a bull market prevailing, people are going to get sucked into it, and it just becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that is exactly what unfolded here also. And the people who bought at the earliest indeed made some phenomenal returns, which is just unheard of in traditional markets. But right now on the weekly scale guys, as you can see from the screen, it is just retreating back and heavy, and right now it is at a crucial support zone, which brings us to the question, is now the perfect time to buy Sol? And to answer that question guys, we need to touch basics, and with regards to this asset class, all we have to do is plot out the accumulation zone so that you know on the scale of probability where we stand currently. And once we figure that out, the next step to do is decide the kind of zones wherein we want to start stacking our orders, and we do need to plot out the stop loss zones in case things go sideways. Yes, right now this is the support zone which the price is slowly breaching, and there has been already more than 4 trend touches, and each and every single time this zone is getting loose, which means the next zone which is likely to hold the price would be around the $140 to $130 mark. And given how aggressive the trend is towards the downward direction, there is a pretty good chance that we might revisit the previous lows. And even on the weekly time frame guys, as you can see from the chart, the trend is clearly broken and retested and rejected. So we have got each and every sign we were looking for in the first place, and along with all of that guys, even the momentum was heading or making us turn in the right direction. Like, I'm not saying that if you're someone who is firmly into the investment philosophy, you shouldn't get into this pair right now. Like, that is not what I mean. Like, of course, if you want to order it for 6 months to 1 year, then obviously dollar cost averaging would be your best bet. Because if you follow that path, instead of waiting for the absolute targets to get it, we can just keep on building a position slowly and sensibly. Like, that is also one way to go, but I would feel much more comfortable for the price to reach at least the $150 mark or the $140 mark before getting my first leg established on this asset class. So that is what I'm waiting for, but personally it all comes down to your personal preference as well. And just like I mentioned guys, the momentum is not even shaken towards the downward direction, so the bears are fully in control, and the weekly lows is certainly going to be a very big accumulation zone wherein not just the retail side, even the professional side is going to open on the trend. So mark these zones out guys, and the ideal accumulation zone is anywhere between $150 to $140. Ideally, it is best to get in without any kind of leverage, so that even if any kind of massive shakeout occurs, you won't be bothered by it, because unlike most people in the market, you won't be over leveraged or anything. And just for example or educational purpose guys, let us just say you have a massive account of say over 10 grand, then it makes sense to use leverage like 3 to 5 times, since we are just looking at the short term horizon of max to max 6 months to 1 1 year, but still then you need to monitor those carefully and you need to make sure that the margin levels are well within prescribed limits, especially if you have other positions running on. But if you just want a easy approach, then just outright buy and keep it in your wallet so that you don't have to worry about none of this stuff. And once the price breaches these zones of support and starts sucking in orders, because for the next wave to occur towards the previous highs, and obviously the market is much more likely to break the current highs, right? So before that, I'm pretty sure that the price is going to slog a long time in between these zones, because in order to get that massive push to break the current price barrier, guys, the market just needs a lot of buy orders. And if you think it in terms of macro, it is a very simple concept to grasp, right? Like, we need to have more buyers than sellers, and until that happens, the price is just going to go sideways. But once it occurs, obviously it will return in full strength. So from our ideal zone of around 150 to 140 bucks, it is going to go to at least $200, which is a very conservative target of 33%, and it can go a lot more higher than that. So it's a game wherein it's all about patience and planning, guys. And I know that even though it sounds dull on paper, this is the kind of things that is going to work very well on the long term, and these kind of gains add up really quickly, guys. So if you are looking to get into Solana, then it might be worth doing it, because the market is trading at a discount, and these kind of opportunities are indeed delightful when they come by. Just remember one thing: there is just more room towards the downward side right now, and unless the ideal zone gets hit, be conservative when it comes to stacking orders and have a plan, guys. And for me, my way of controlling risk is to use the perpetual contracts, and you can use that or any other method you want. But at the whole, guys, just like have a solid plan in place so that you don't get into any kind of impulsive actions which you will regret for sure later, because no one makes good decisions when they're emotionally involved, right? So keep that in mind, slowly build up your position, and with the kind of time horizon we are talking and all of the hype around this token, I'm pretty sure that by next year we would have seen much more higher peaks than imaginable. Like, it has got everything going for it. So this is what you need to know on the Sol USD pair. And since this is anywhere between 6 months to 1 year time horizon, we don't have to worry about any other technicals, because when we base our decisions upon monthly and weekly candles, obviously it is going to outlast everything. And usually, just check any chart you want, it is going to be the most reliable ones ever. So that pretty much is the wrap for today's video, guys. And as usual, if you have got any doubts or comments, shoot it down below. If you're looking for short-term and medium time horizon trades, then check out the links in the description section. Subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. See you on the next one.